Hello, and welcome to the Anatomy of Knitting, episode 59. My name is Erin, and I'm going to be your host. Today is February 12th, 2015. It is a Thursday, the boys are at the creche, and I have time to record. Because I've finished all of my chores. Yay! I hate doing chores on Thursday, because I usually save up a lot of the big ones, like vacuuming the entire house and cleaning the toilets. For today, because I don't like doing it when I have to take care of boys too. Oh, goodness. So it's been an exciting week since I last spoke to you all. I have a fair amount of things to do. I have my show notes here. See, Nathaniel helped me write down some show notes. I have a week in review. I have some works in progress, and I have some stash enhancement. So let's get started. First off, I'd like to congratulate Jasmine of the Knitmore Girls podcast. She recently announced that they are expecting baby number 2. So a hearty congratulations to you. Yay! I hope your pregnancy is smooth and very uneventful. Those are the best kind of pregnancies. So, for the week in review, most of the last week was fairly boring. I was doing a lot of work on the Irish Patchwork Society's Southern Branch Block of the Month project, because I'm in charge of that, and setting up the website and doing all sorts of fun and exciting things with that. So I don't think the production of knitting has been as much, but there is a fair amount. We also took a trip to Dublin this past weekend. My husband and I are, for those of you, this is the first viewing, I am a mother of twins. They are currently 2 years and a month and a half, and very 2-year-old right now. Malcolm's favorite word is no, and we have frequent tantrums. And I don't remember if I said in the intro, but we live in Cork, Ireland. We're American expats living in Cork, Ireland. And we took this trip the last week to Dublin to sort of test the waters and see how traveling with toddlers is. The only other big traveling we've taken with the boys is to fly here from the States, and then in October we took a trip back to the Portland, Oregon area to visit my family. So those went decently, but we were trying to see if the boys can handle a road trip, because there's a few road trips that we'd like to take in the next few months. One of the road trips is we'd like to go see Northern Ireland and maybe take a ferry over to Scotland. But we weren't exactly sure how the boys would handle a car ride that long. And for us, going to Dublin is about a 2.5-hour car ride. So, excuse me. Overall, the trip went well. We ended up renting an apartment in the Portobello district of Dublin. We rented it via Airbnb. I don't know if you all are familiar with Airbnb. I don't know how big it is in the States. I think I spoke about it in the last podcast. It's Airbnb.com. People put up their homes, rooms, apartments for rent for people who are traveling. And it's a really inexpensive way to get a house or an apartment or a room. When I'm going to London, gosh, let me see. I think it's in 2.5 weeks. Didn't realize it was that close. So I am leaving for London 3 weeks from today. Guess I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So I am spending a little over 300 euros for my stay in London, which typically can be about twice that. And I'm going to be about 3 minutes from a tube station that's on one of the main drags or the main lines. So it's going to be awesome, and it's within walking distance of the convention center that I'm going to my event at. This is one of my Christmas presents from my husband. It is, let's see, Nicholas Mosse, M-O-S-S-E, so I'll say Mosse, pottery, and these are fuchsias. And there's a ton of fuchsias here in Ireland. And I'm having my berries tea. So, anyway, tangent alert. We took this road trip to see if the boys could handle maybe a longer road trip. And it was a really good learning experience. My husband likes to pre-plan a lot of these trips, so he had like an itinerary and a timeline for the Scotland and Northern Ireland trip already, even though I said, I was like, I'm not planning anything until I see how Dublin goes. So he had this itinerary, and he had us in like, a new city every 2 nights, and it just was too much. And so we determined that we need to keep the base of operations to maybe 1 or 2 places. So we learned that. Let's see, what else? What other big things did we learn? We learned that having a place where we can make breakfast and then not have to worry about making any other meals was really good. So what we typically did was I would make breakfast here, and the boys love to have cheesy eggs, which are just the Irish eggs and the Irish cheese, which, oh my gosh, eggs and cheese here taste so good. When we went back in October to visit my family and I made cheesy eggs there, it tasted like nothing. Anyway, another tangent. And then we would have lunch out, and then the first night we went out for dinner to sushi. I miss sushi. And then the other 2 nights we had food delivered. There's this, I think it's Just Eat or Let's Eat.ie, and we use that service to order our food and have it delivered. So that turned out really well. So in the future, we think that's the way to go, is to make breakfast and then go do our thing, eat out, and then bring in dinner. Because the boys are still at the stage where going out for dinner is just a little too much for them, and it takes them a little longer to calm down for the night. Let's see, what else did we learn? There was something else I was going to talk about that just popped in my head while I was talking about the eating. I don't remember. So I will refer to my show notes. The first day we were there, we took the boys to St. Stephen's Park, and there's this really excellent playground that they had the chance to play on, and some of the videos that I'm going to post at the end of the podcast are from there, I believe. I also took a trip to a yarn store because, and I should have done this prior to recording, but one of the users on Ravelry, not there. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry I'm making you wait. Well, shoot. I am having a hard time finding. Here we go. I found it. I just had to go to my posts. So, Ravelry user Fitsit, she lives in Dublin, and she gave me some recommendations about some things to see in Dublin. And one of those things was a fabric store and a yarn store. And I knew that I wouldn't really have a lot of time to go shopping on my own, mainly because I kind of knew that the boys were going to be intensive to keep calm and take care of. So she recommended a fabric store and the yarn store. And we were walking along in the main shopping district, which was around the St. Stephen's Park. And I ended up just kind of looking down one of the streets and saw the fabric store that she had recommended. And we walked up to it, and I kind of looked in the window and determined, I'm not sure I want to spend money on fabric today because I'm going to be going to that convention soon. But I did want to check out the yarn store. And she had said that they were right around the corners from each other. So I ended up finding the yarn store and spending a little money. So you'll see that a little bit later in the stash enhancement. After that, the next day we went to the Dublin Zoo, which is a really good zoo. However, we shouldn't have gone when it was so chilly. We ended up taking so we have a double stroller that the boys can sit next to each other, and then we have two single strollers. And we ended up just taking the single strollers with us to Dublin. One, because it's more compact to pack in the car. And we knew that we were going to IKEA and wanted to save some room in the car. And two, they just are more maneuverable upstairs and that kind of thing. So the bad thing about taking the single strollers is that the double strollers have these like fabric insulated like blanket that you can install and keep on there permanently. So when you put the kid in the stroller, they're in this like igloo of warmth. So we didn't have that, and so the boys, I think, got really chilly. Maybe about an hour or two into our trip, and we tried to keep them warm, but there weren't a lot of places to go in the zoo inside where you can warm up easily. So we got through maybe about a third of the zoo before Malcolm just started to get not so happy. He ended up crying through the African exhibit, which had zebras and giraffes and something else, maybe a hippo, which we didn't see. And I was going fast because I knew he wanted to go see the elephant, and so like he was just unhappy, and I was trying to cover him up, and he refused to have his quilt on him, and it was it was a trying mommy moment. So I finally made it to the elephant, and he was just like, elephant, and was really happy for the next 20 minutes or so that we were looking at the elephants. And we arrived just in time to hear the handlers talk about all their elephants that they have, and they had like 4 or 5 adults and 3 baby elephants. It seemed like a lot of elephants, but the boys really enjoyed seeing that. And then we had lunch at their Meerkat Cafe, which in the dining area has a big one of the walls of the dining area is just windows, and that's where they have their meerkats. So the kids can run up and watch the meerkats, and then run back to the table and eat a little bit of food. So the boys really enjoyed looking at the meerkats after lunch because they were also warm as well. Let's see. And then the next day we went to IKEA and had a very successful trip there. I had come armed with a list, and we got everything that was on the list, except I forgot to put pillows. We were going to buy like kids' pillows for the boys, but I totally forgot and ended up buying them some pillows here at the Dunn store. So we've transitioned to toddler beds, and now we have pillows too. So we're beginning to be big boys. And here's your weekly Ari viewing. So I'm about 15 minutes in, and just now getting to the knitting. First thing that I have been working on is, you saw this last week, this is my Frolicking Feet in the Pot of Gold colorway. This is the sock head hat that I'm knitting for Nathaniel. There is the Bright Bright yarn. He loves rainbows and pink. And I have got probably 4 or 5 inches since you last saw this. This is the sock head hat. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. You can download it there. I have decreased the circumference of the hat by about 20 stitches, and otherwise I am knitting it to pattern. So it's 2x2 ribbing for a while, and then stockinette for a while. I think I'm going to go to about 8 or so inches with the stockinette portion. Before I start decreasing, and I am, let's see, I am not that far from 8 inches. I am at 6 3/4, and you'll see my poor Knit More Girls podcast tape measure no longer retracts because my little boy got a hold of it and just pulled it out. They've liked to play with the boys have liked to play with this tape measure before. They'll pull it out and then they'll retract it, but Nathaniel just pulled and pulled and pulled until it no longer works. So now I get to use it like that. So there's that. This is fingering weight yarn, and I believe these are US 3 needles. They're either 2s or 3s. And, yeah. Oh, here we go. Let's see. They are US 2s. So that is the knitting there. Pretty simple and easy. It was nice to, while I was in the car, have some easy stockinette to just go on, because my cardigan, and I keep wanting to call this the Benton cardigan because I know there's a Benton cardigan in the book, but this is the Hopper cardigan. This has reached quite the complicated section. I believe the last time we spoke, I was working on the front. Let's see, this is the left front, so you'll see, and I believe I was just right here doing the decreasing and transitioning the cable to the side. It does like this princess seam looking, and then so I finished off the shoulder, and I continued on with the back. So the back has also been done. There you go. And I'm currently working on the right front. So I am doing the armhole maneuvering, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I will start transitioning the cable to the side as well, so it's like a princess. Has the princess seaming, or not seaming, but princess appearing seams. Let me show this to you again. That's what it's going to do, and it's going to look like. It's really pretty. And I already have the sleeves completed, and so I'll just finish the right front, and then I'll start seaming and installing sleeves and doing button bands. And I should start to find buttons. You have to move soon. His tail was tickling my back, so I had to make him move. Yeah. Those are the 2 things I've had on the needles. I've been thinking about what my next sweater is going to be, because I'm getting to that point where I can see the end of the tunnel, and so I'm just trying to determine what I'm going to do. So next is Stash Advancement. This is Knit. They are at Powerscourt Townhouse, Dublin 2. There's the email and the website and the telephone number. I had a very successful time at This Is Knit, I will show you the books that I purchased. Sorry for all the crinkly noise. So these are two books that I have seen online, but have not purchased online. The first one is Isolde and Friends Celebrate Sheep and Wool with the Rhinebeck Sweater, a collection of 12 sweater patterns, stories, and more. So I had seen this, I know this has been out for a while. Let me see when it was published. 2013, so almost 2 years old. Take off the, wanted to take off the price sticker, but it's not going to come off in one piece. And I'd seen this on Ravelry, and when she had when Isolde had put this out, but I actually hadn't purchased it online, mostly because I have a lot of already purchased sweater patterns, and determined that I didn't need it at the time. But I like having physical books, and this is the first place I have seen it like in person. So I determined that I would like to purchase it, and so I did. And I wanted to show you, so this is one sweater that I'd like to knit out of it. This is Isolde's Pumpkin Ale sweater. Everything, I always have to remember, everything is reversed. So there's the front, and then the party is all in the back. It's got this beautiful back of the sweater, and then there's some cable texture details on the sleeves as well, which is really pretty. And her version is knit. Let's see, what does she say it's knit out of? Jill still says what it's describes it. There's a couple of sweaters that I'd like to make out of this. All the patterns are in the back. Here we go. So it's knit out of Miss Babs Heartland Worsted in Roasted Pumpkin. And I'd really like to, I've purchased a fair amount of yarn here in Ireland that's just mainly Irish, and I'd like to use some of that, but it's a little more rustic feeling, and I think for something like this, I might want something more merino-y next to skin. What other ones did I like? There's the apple cider donut, which has this awesome collar. There is the Beekman Tavern, which is this nice white cable-y goodness sweater. There, it's really pretty. And I like the sugar leaf. This one, I really love that collar, but I hate the button. There we go, the button closure. I hate the gapping. I'm a very busty lady, and I would just hate to have the gapping. But I think that would be fairly easy to modify, so you don't have it. I also love the detail there. This is Duchess. And then the last one that I want to knit is by one of my new favorite designers. She's not a new designer, but she's one of my new favorite designers, and it's the Maple Cotton Candy, and that's by Amy Herzog. And it's just got this nice subtle texture all across the sweater. And I like that sleeve detail, the split sleeve detail. I think I'd keep it off of the hem though, or at least make it so it's not such a high slit. I like it for the sleeve, but I don't quite like it for the hip. I recently took the Craftsy class that Amy Herzog has, and learned a lot about how to change my sweaters. So that's the one book. It's really beautiful, and there's a lot of stories about a lot of the different yarn companies that they have the yarn from, which is pretty awesome. And I'm looking forward to diving into it. I just read about the Verdant Griffin and how they died. So yeah, there's that. And then the other book that I purchased is Kate Davies Yokes. And Kate Davies is a designer who I believe is from Scotland. And she's, I mean, this Fair Isle here, I just love. I think I just want to do that. Seriously, just even with the same yarn. So these are all the different sweater patterns that are in here. I love how they have the one page that just has all of the sweater thumbnails, so you can quickly reference it. Just so pretty. All of them are just, ugh. Oh, I missed two of them. There's two on the other page. And this is just, it's another really beautifully done book with beautifully done patterns. The Cockatoo Bray. I mean, come on. How stunning is that? And it's just so happy and rainbowy. Ugh, I just want to make it in the yarn that's called for. What is it called for? This is Jameson Smith 2-ply jumper weight. Beautiful. Ugh, so beautiful. Yeah, I'm just really into the yoke sweaters right now, with the Fair Isle detail on them. It's just, I don't know what it is. I just think it's so pretty. And I'm not really that big, I haven't been that big of a Fair Isle knitter, but yeah. I've knit and steeked. What's the past tense of steeked? Or steek? Is it steeked? I don't know. Stucked? Stooped? I don't know. I have steeked a sweater before, so that doesn't scare me. So it's just beautifully, beautifully beautiful. There's a conversation with Meg Swanson in here. There's just such beautiful, such a beautiful book. I'll do a more in-depth review after I actually get a chance to read it cover to cover. But it's such a beautiful book to look at. I know all the patterns are, you can check out the patterns on Ravelry. I don't think you can purchase it. I think the only way you can purchase the patterns is through the book. But don't quote me on that. I didn't look that up before I started recording. So I went a little crazy at the store, and I found only Irish yarn. The first one is the Dublin Dye Company, and this is not showing up very accurate. This is their Smoke Monster colorway on their swing sock, and this is a gray. I guess it's looking more. This is looking more true, although it's not super true what you're seeing, but it's a gray, smoky, lovely skein of yarn. And this is just merino and nylon, and their website is dublindye.com. Thought this might make an interesting shawl. And then I got Hedgehog Fibers, which I believe is based here in Cork. This is their sock yarn. It's another merino and nylon. And this is their Powers Court colorway. Beautiful. Oh, just this aqua, like a deep turquoise and the green. Oh, so pretty. Again, not super accurate. Yeah, pretty much matches these two colors pretty much match. So that's more accurate there, the colors that you see. And I also got, this is Grafton 4-ply, oh, that's the yarn. This is Townhouse Yarns in the Azure Days colorway. This is MCN, Merino Cashmere Nylon, 80-10-10, and it's hand-dyed in Ireland by Jenny. Townhouse Yarns. Again, this is not super accurate. This is more of a green compared to my tank top that you see. The tank top color is accurate. I don't know why the rest of this isn't very accurate. Maybe, no. But this is a deep, like right here is a super deep greenish blue. Not super accurate, but it's oh so soft. And then the last two that I bought, I thought could be used to make something that's two colors. This is a nice butter yellow, and this is a darker blue. I guess that's a fairly accurate color representation, although not 100%. This is Coolry Exquisite hand-dyed yarns. This is merino and silk, and it's been hand-dyed in Wexford, Ireland. And this is the Sunshine colorway. Here you can see the information about the website. And it's just so luscious. This is Midnight Blue. Same merino and silk. And it's just, I think something two colors with this is just gonna, it just feels so good. So, those are all the yarns that I got. Beautiful. Lovely. I've just been into a blue and green phase lately. Sorry for the rustling. Yep, so that's the stash enhancement that I had. And then my husband went to go see the Book of Kells while the boys were sleeping one day, and I just wanted to... If you're not familiar, the Book of Kells is an illuminated Bible, and it's got all these Celtic knots drawn in it, and just pretty. So he bought me this little pendant. It's really, again, it's got that blue-green color, which seems to be my favorite right now. Yeah, I think that's about it from this week. I have to go find a photocopier here in the village. I believe there's one. I have to photocopy the instructions for the Block of the Month thing that I'm presenting on Saturday. So I think that's good. I'm at 33 minutes. That's a good chunk of time for you. I hope you all have an excellent week, and I shall see you next week when the boys are at creche. And they're talking, so they asked me last week if we'd be able to, I guess Thursdays are really busy for them. So I guess they asked me last week if we might be willing to move to a different day. And I told them yes. So just the recording day might shift from, thank you, Ari, from Thursdays to a different day. But again, I will, as long as the boys are gone and I have time to do this, I will do this during their creche days. Yeah. So, yeah, just an FYI. It might shift. We'll see. I was telling them that Wednesdays might work for us as also, but I haven't heard back if that's going to work for them. So, have a good day. I just hear this helicopter, which I hardly ever hear helicopters here. So I wish you a good week, and I hope that you all have excellent knitting this week and that there is no knitting attacking you. And I will see you next week. Bye. Go, Daddy.
Yeah.
Town. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The doors on the bus go open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. The doors on the bus go open and shut, all through the town. The people on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus go up and down, all through the town. The babies on the bus go wah, 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 wah. The babies on the bus go wah, 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 all through the town. The mommies on the bus go shh, 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 shh. The mommies on the bus go shh, 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 all through the town. The daddies on the bus go I love you.
I love you.
The daddies on the bus go
I love you.
all through the town. The lights on the bus go on and off, on and off, on and off. The lights on the bus go on and off, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 all through the town.
Yay!